Live from sunny San Diego. Welcome to everyone who is joining me tonight. Also, thank you to the replay viewers. I'm so excited to talk about this tonight. Oh, and thank you for the hearts, guys. I love hearts. I love the support and affirmation. It really means a lot to me. I really have a great time doing these hashtag Scope About It's. I'll talk about what these series is all about on Periscope, and then we'll dive into tonight's topic, which is all about buzzwords. Hi, Freedom Walker 77. What's your name? How are you doing tonight? Happy Friday. So we're talking about buzzwords and the top 3 digital marketing buzzwords that I run into a lot. So we're going to talk about what they are, what they mean. Okay, hi Kim. Thanks for tuning in, hun. Because I think it's a great topic. I think we've all been guilty of this, where we've used buzzwords before and kind of had an idea of what they mean, but not really. And so I'm just gonna, end the mystery tonight for some of these words and let you guys know what these words actually mean and how to use them when we're talking about digital marketing, okay? Like I said, my name is Alex Cameron. I'm a social media trainer, coach, and speaker, and this is what I love to do, guys. I love teaching people about social media. I love empowering them about their social media strategy. I work with a lot of small business owners, marketing professionals who really want to build their toolkit on social media, really want to build their strategy. I'm all about empowering you guys, and one of the ways I'm able to do that is by hosting these scopes on a daily and weekly basis. Now, tonight's scope is definitely a lot more fun and casual. I started a series a couple weeks ago called hashtag Scope About It. Now you're probably wondering, why the heck did you call it that? Well, to answer that question, I'm going to ask you guys a question. How many of you know who Matt Bellassai is? Matt Bellassai. He worked for BuzzFeed, which I'm sure many of you know what BuzzFeed is. And he did a weekly video series for BuzzFeed called hashtag Whine About It. What he did was that he was able to get drunk at his desk every single week and bitch about some of the common annoyances in our culture that, things we're probably all thinking, but Matt had the liberty to be able to say them out loud, and he had just the personality for that. He's hilarious. I highly recommend you Google him or search for him on YouTube. Search for one of his Whine About It videos. They are hilarious. And so my little fun twist on that is to do hashtag Scope About It, where I can have a fun, honest conversation with you guys about some of the annoyances in social media, because let's face it, some people and some companies do some pretty annoying things on social. And I want this to be productive. I just don't want to talk about what they're doing wrong, but I do want to talk about how not to make these mistakes. And so the topic tonight is about buzzwords, because like I said, sometimes we don't know what they mean. We use them, but we're using them the wrong way. And some of these buzzwords are hilarious. Like I actually looked up some more tonight before my talk with you guys, because I wanted to see what other buzzwords people talked about, and some of them were really funny, so I'll mention those as well, but I'm going to focus on 3 different buzzwords tonight, okay guys? So if anytime during this scope you either know of the buzzword, you've used it before, or you've used it the wrong way, just give me some hearts. Tap the screen with some hearts so I know that you guys have heard these buzzwords, or that you've used them before, maybe not in the right way or maybe in the right way, which is great for you guys. So definitely do that, and then feel free to ask me questions throughout this scope tonight. I want it to be very interactive. I want you guys to be able to ask me buzzwords that you've heard of, and I can let you know what they mean, because there's a lot of them buzzing out there in this world, especially in the world of digital marketing, okay? So grab your drink. I am drinking water tonight, which is what you guys saw in the beginning of the scope. I definitely had a little bit too many cocktails already this week, so I'm trying to manage that. But grab your favorite beverage, whether it's wine, beer, margaritas. Let's drink, to celebrate the weekend, and then also just have a casual conversation about some of these buzzwords, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. I am so excited about this talk. And by the way, if you think this would be a valuable topic for any of your friends or peers on social media, I would love it if you would share this scope with your tribe. And that's actually one of the buzzwords that we're going to talk about tonight, the word tribe, okay? And we'll go over in more detail about what that word means. But like I said, if your tribe could benefit from these fun, honest conversations about social media and what not to do, then I would love it if you guys could share it, either swipe left, right, or up, down, depending on your phone, and share it with your tribe on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Spread the word, guys. I would greatly appreciate it, okay? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Tonight's first buzzword, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. I wrote them down on sticky notes, and so you might not be able to read them because they might show up backwards, but I'll tell you guys what they are, okay? So the first buzzword for tonight's hashtag scope about it is this word right here. I know it's hard to read backwards, but this says avatar. A-V-A-T-A-R, avatar. And no, I'm not talking about the movie with the blue little aliens. Although that movie was awesome, that is not what I'm talking about. So let's just start with that. That is not what an avatar is when it comes to marketing. An avatar, guys, is really simply, is just who is your ideal client. If that particular client can be represented by one human being, what would they be? That's all an avatar is. That's kind of what makes me laugh about buzzwords, is that we use all this fancy language and knowledge or terminology with these words, and they turn out to be very simple words. We just want to sound important and cool in our industry, so we come up with these weird, crazy terms, and then everybody starts using them, but they have no idea what they mean. I'm going to raise my hand because I've been guilty of that before, and I'm trying to be better about that, and I want you guys to be better about that as well. So avatar, like I said, is simply who is your ideal client. And when you think about your avatar, guys, you need to be as specific as possible about who that person is. I mean, as detailed as male or female, or does that matter? Age demographic. If you're trying to target a specific age range, you need to define that, because that's going to help you determine what social media platforms you should be active on, okay? You should think about, are they married? Are they single? Do they have children? What type of job do they have? What type of resources are they looking for? To be successful when it comes to trying to find your ideal avatar or client, guys, is being specific. You can't just say, well, I'm targeting women, or I'm targeting moms. That's just not going to cut it. You really have to be as specific as possible, even if you want to draw it out. If you're more of an artistic person or a creative person and you prefer drawing over writing, draw it out. Draw what that person looks like. Draw what they would wear. Draw what their hobbies would be. But the key here, guys, is to be as specific as possible. That's how you're really going to do well on social media, and do well on the digital marketing scene, okay? So that is buzzword number 1. Avatar. Now that you know it, I hope you guys use it in the right way. Really interesting word, by the way. Okay. Now the second buzzword, which I've already said tonight on hashtag scope about it, is, this says tribe. T-R-I-B-E. Okay, so what do we mean by tribe when it comes to digital marketing? All that your tribe is, guys, is your loyal community. Crazy, right? I can't get over how we use these, sometimes weird, complicated words to mean just really simple terms in our language. It's ridiculous. So yeah, number 2 is tribe, and I actually use this word all the time. I think I actually overuse it. I'm just gonna be real with you guys. But my peers and my coworkers are using this word all the time, so I'm influenced by them for sure. But all a tribe is, guys, is just think of them as your loyal community, whether that's on social media, whether that's some people who follow you on your blog. The key word here is follow. I mean, think about a tribe outside of marketing, right? Just a normal tribe. Tribe were a group of people that followed you from one geographical location to another. That's exactly what a tribe is in marketing. It just means that these are people that are willing to follow you through your business, through your ups and downs in life. These people are loyal, right? And these are the type of people that we want to connect with on social media. This is the, the community that we want to build, the people who are loyal and engaged and want to support us, want to share our scopes, right? Want to spread the word about us on social media. They are our brand advocates, and they are our ideal community, okay? So you can kind of think of a tribe as a bunch of avatars who are really loyal to you, okay? So that is buzzword number 2 is tribe, okay? And then the last one that I'm going to talk about tonight before I open it up to everybody is a word that is actually really important. It is a buzzword, but what it means and how you use it in your social media strategies is so important. I'm going to talk a lot about this one tonight, okay? Buzzword number 3 is repurpose. This one's used a lot, especially when we talk about content marketing, okay? Here's the thing. We spend a lot of time and energy and probably tears sometimes trying to think of great content. Great content being content that will get shared by our tribe, right? There we go. We're using our buzzword. The content that is going to encourage people to click on your blog, right? And go to your website and actually read it. The type of content that people are going to like, comment, and share. The type of content that people want to spread to their individual tribes. So that being said, we want to make sure we're using that content in as many ways as possible. And that's essentially what repurposing is, guys. It's taking content that you've already created and repurposing it or reusing it for additional ways of marketing and building your communities. I'll give you a great example, and it has to do with Periscope. So for those of us who are active on Periscope, we are spending a lot of time here building our communities. We are either doing trainings, Q&A sessions, in the moment, behind the scenes, glimpses of our personal and professional lives. And it's important that we repurpose that content and try to use it as much as possible. I like to say, I try to, get as much juice as I can on or with this content. So are you going to put this on YouTube? What's your name, by the way? Because I've seen you on a lot of my scopes, and I want to make sure that I know your guys' names. That's a great question. I'm going to talk about what I use these scopes for, and YouTube is a great way of repurposing any sort of video marketing, whether that's live streaming or any type of video that you create. YouTube is a great way of promoting that video. But going back to the Periscope example, using these videos as much as possible, not just live streaming on Periscope and then forgetting about the video. You have this great content that you created. Let's use it as much as we possibly can. For me, what I do with my scopes is that I'll try to embed them within my blog post. Number one, that helps with my SEO because Google loves video marketing content, so it helps to boost the SEO on each of my blog posts. And then it gives people an incentive to read the blog, because what I do is that at the very end of the blog, I post a video that has to do with the topic that I was writing about. And what I do is that I purposely leave a part out from the blog post and tell them, watch the video so that you can learn the rest of it. My blog, if you go to my website, so you can go to signaturesocialconsulting.com/blog. Okay, so that's signature, like signing your name, signaturesocialconsulting.com/blog. I just did an example of this on February's blog. I think I did it on influencer marketing. So I had done a scope on influencer marketing. And like I said, I'm repurposing the content from my scopes and putting it on my blogs. I'm also sharing it on my Facebook page so that people who missed my scopes can still see it. There's a great app out there that actually captures your scopes after you're done broadcasting so that you can use them at a later date for other purposes. A lot of times what you can do is you can save your scopes to your camera roll, but then you end up using a lot of data, and that sucks, especially when you, or sorry, not data, but storage, and that sucks. We don't like using a lot of storage on our phones, so rather than it saving to your camera roll, this app called Catch will save all your Periscope videos, and then you can use them for whatever you want at a later date. So like I said, I posted mine on YouTube, and then I uploaded the YouTube video to my blog post. That is what repurposing content is. It's just how can I reuse the content that I've already created. Don't just take the time to create a training on Periscope and then do nothing else with it. How much more can you do with that? Like I said, embed it in your blog post, post it on your other social media channels. It's just it's such a smart strategy, guys, because you're working smarter, not harder, right? We want to work smarter. We don't necessarily want to work harder unless we have to. But in this way, when it comes to content, which we're already spending so much time doing, we might as well get as much juice as we can out of our content. So that is a great way of doing that, by repurposing. Yes, this is like probably the most important buzzword that I've talked about tonight. The other two are important, but this one's really important when it comes to your social media strategy and how to, like I said, get the most out of your content. Thank you for all the hearts, by the way. I'm loving the hearts tonight, guys. I have such a friendly audience on during the evenings on Periscope. Sometimes in the afternoon, I'm like bombarded by trolls, which is another buzzword which I didn't write down, but I've talked a lot about them on Periscope, because unfortunately there are a lot of trolls that love to be on Periscope. For those of you who do not know what a troll is, which I'm surprised, because if you've been on Periscope, if you either live streamed yourself or tuned in to a scope, then you've probably seen this type of individual. You probably just didn't know that they were considered trolls. Trolls are, to me, they're just bullies. I like to just call them bullies. I mean, the buzzword is a troll. I call them a bully. The pure intent of a troll is to disrupt a conversation on social media in the digital scene. A lot of times it's negative disruption, right? So they're posting inappropriate comments. They're just full of negative energy, and they want to distract people from the conversation. I get so frustrated with trolls because unfortunately you cannot avoid them. But what I love about Periscope is that you can easily block these people. So I highly recommend, if you run into a troll on one of your scopes or anywhere on your social media channels, if you have the ability to block them, especially with Periscope, because you don't have to worry about them ever entering one of your scopes again. They can't participate after you block them on any of your future scopes, which I think is awesome. I love that Periscope has done that. I also encourage people that if it is appropriate to call them out, to call out the troll's behavior. And I don't mean by that to say that in order to beat the bully, become the bully. I'm not saying that at all. I actually highly discourage that. What I mean to say is that you need to stand up for yourself and then also your tribe, right? We talked about this buzzword tribe, the people who are going to be loyal and to you and follow you. You want to make sure that you're standing up for your tribe, and letting these trolls know that you're not going to tolerate their behavior. So when negative comments have come up on my scopes, if it's appropriate, and if I'm not straying away too much from the conversation, I call them out. I say, hey, you know what? You're posting negative content. Bye-bye. And I block them after that. And it's just, I think it's an appropriate way to handle trolls that is both mature and professional. And you guys deserve to do that, because you don't deserve to have these people on your scopes disrupting the conversation. It's crazy. I've seen trolls so much on Periscope It's really sad. I don't know if they get paid or not to do that. I've heard from some of my clients and peers that some trolls are paid to leave negative reviews on Yelp and other review sites, which I guess would make sense if a competitor was paying someone to do that. But I don't get it on Periscope. I mean, who has time to freaking go and just leave negative comments on Periscope? Like, get a life, get a real life, you know? And I just, it frustrates me. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. It's definitely frustrating. And I feel for all of you who've experienced trolls, but I hope I gave you some advice, easy advice about how to handle it. But yeah, troll is another buzzword. But what are some of the other buzzwords that you guys have come across? I'm sure that these three are not the only buzzwords. Like I said, it's digital marketing. Things are always changing. You know, it's becoming such a popular industry to be a part of. But with that being said, we love as marketers to come up with fun buzzwords. Another one that I've actually worked a lot on, and it is a buzzword, but it has a very important significance to it, is influencer marketing. Yeah, influencer marketing. And by the way, I love all the hearts. Thanks, guys. I am loving the love tonight. I love meeting just awesome people on Periscope who want to support me. Even those of you who are new to my tribe, right? I just used that word again because, like I said, it is a buzzword and it's so popular and so fun to use. But I appreciate you leaving the hearts, sharing it with your audience. That's huge because then that helps me to be able to teach as many people as possible in here, which is that's really what my goal here is on Periscope, is to teach and empower people to make their lives a little easier when it comes to social, because I understand the stress that comes with your social media strategy. I understand the challenges of not having enough time. I'm a small business owner myself, so I get it. I totally get it, and I want to be there to help you as much as possible. But going back to that buzzword, influencer marketing, I would highly encourage you guys to Google that. There's a lot of content on that right now. To kind of sum up what influencer marketing is in really easy terms, it's the process of reaching out to people in your industry who already have a very loyal, engaged audience. So these people have a really engaged tribe, right? I should have done a little drinking game and had like everybody take a drink every time I use one of these buzzwords, because I'm using them all over the place tonight. And for those of you who are just tuning in, welcome. I'm going over some of the major buzzwords in social media and digital marketing, ones that we're using all the time, and sometimes we just have no idea what they freaking mean. And so I want to clarify what these words mean so that we can continue to use them, but we make sure that we're talking about them in the right context. So I talked about what an avatar is. Boss lifestyle. Hi, how are you? Have you tuned in before? Because I want to say, I feel like you've tuned into one of my scopes before. Negative. Okay, well, welcome. Thank you for tuning in tonight. This is a really popular topic. I'm just going to recap the words I talked about because we already went over them. What are your tips for reaching out to influencers? That's a great question. I'll go back to your question. First, let me recap the buzzwords, and then I'll talk about that because that's a really important question. First, I'm going to take a sip of my drink. Cheers, guys. I wish I could like clink with you guys, but little virtual cheers. I love this mug, by the way, guys. It says "Killing It." It's like my go-to mug. It's my daily little inspiration to kick ass as an entrepreneur, but I use it all the time. So let me take a sip real quick. And I'm surprised most people comment and tell me what they've been drinking tonight. I have a lot of people who like wine, beer. We actually started talking about wine during one of my scopes because some guy was drinking wine. I was like, oh, what type of wine? Anyways, don't want to distract what we're talking about. But to recap 3 different buzzwords, the first one I talked about was avatar, which I know that these look backwards to you, but that says avatar. An avatar is your ideal client, the person who you ideally want to work with in your business, okay? So your ideal client is an avatar. And then the second buzzword was tribe, right? These are the people who who are going to follow you on social media. Oh, I love your little emojis. All the above, right? Are you drinking all the above then? Beer, wine, coffee? I'm jealous. I drank a little bit. I had too many cocktails this week, so I'm trying to cut back on that. But I am definitely jealous to everybody who is enjoying a beverage this evening. So we talked about tribe. Those are the people who are going to follow you, whether it's on social media. These are kind of like your loyal community, right? Your loyal community members, your brand advocates. And then the last buzzword was repurpose. That's all that means is reusing your content as much as possible. So we talked about taking your scopes, uploading them to YouTube so that you can help with your SEO, put them on a blog post, use your content as much as you can, and as many platforms as you can as well. Okay, so that was the 3 buzzwords, and then we talked about trolls too, because everybody, a lot of people don't know what a troll is, even though they've probably seen one or experienced one on Periscope, unfortunately. And then I talked about another buzzword, which is really important, influencer marketing. That is the process of building relationships with influencers in your industry. These are people who have a loyal following on social media, who can be potential brand advocates for you. I have a 250 million reach on Instagram if anyone needs reach. Well, that's fantastic, Boss Lifestyle. What's your name, by the way? Let me know what your name is. And I would be curious to know, were all those followers gained organically, or did we have some paid methods? I have to ask that with Instagram, because unfortunately there are a lot of Instagram accounts that have a lot of followers, but they paid to get those followers. And a lot of times they don't happen to be the people that you want to attract. Esteban, okay, so you did a little bit of both. Well, congratulations to you on that. That's definitely a huge accomplishment. But influencer marketing is the process of reaching out to people who have a loyal following. There is this misconception that an influencer is someone who has 1 million followers on social media. That's actually not the case. The important part here, guys, is that they have an engaged audience on social. So even if they only have a couple thousand followers, if those people are sharing the influencer's content, if the influencer themselves is sharing a lot of other people's content, that's who you want to reach out to. We had a question earlier about how to, what was your question? I think it was, how to engage influencers, how to build relationships with them. The bottom line is that you have to provide something of value to the influencer. That is the key, guys. Influencers are just like us. They only have so much time on their hands, and they want to build relationships that are valuable to them. So in the beginning, no, we are taking at least 50 to 3 million likes and thousands of comments. We are talking at least, okay. Gotcha. Thanks for the clarification. But with influencer marketing, like I said, you want to give something of value to these influencers. What does that look like? Well, you have to think about, what does your influencer want? What is deemed valuable to them? So maybe they want their products and services promoted maybe on your blog. A great idea would to be feature them on your blog. If you have a pretty loyal following on your blog, it would be a great way to expose that influencer's products and services to a different audience, which is what they want, because then they can get more clients from that exposure. So that you have to think about that. What is that particular influencer want when it comes to value? If you think about that, then it's actually, the rest of it is really easy. It's so much easier to reach out to these influencers nowadays because they are on social media, and no longer takes a phone call or trying to find their email. All you have to do is tweet at them. How long have you been doing this for now? That's a great question, Esteban. I've been an entrepreneur officially since 2013. I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset. The business that I have now, which is Signature Social, that one was launched January of last year. But I've been in the world of social media ever since I was in college. I mean, I was on LinkedIn as soon as I was a freshman in school, because I was always kind of 3 or 5 steps ahead of the game. I wanted to, be ahead of my peers. And so one of the first kind of things I did was create a LinkedIn profile. So I've been using LinkedIn for over 10 years. Obviously, I was on Facebook ever since high school, and I just really gravitated towards social media because I loved that there was something new every day to learn. I have so much fun and just feel so much fulfillment out of teaching people about social media and helping them feel empowered. So long story short is I've been teaching for a very long time. I've been teaching ever since I was young. I mean, I've always had this inner gift of teaching, but as an actual social media coach, I've been doing that since beginning of last year, and then a couple years before that. So yeah, that's a little story about myself. But going back to that influencer marketing part, there's a tool that I highly recommend that you use to find these influencers, and that tool is called Buzzsumo. I know it sounds really weird. It's spelled like this, B-U-Z-Z, like buzz, and then sumo, S-U-M-O. It's one word. So if you Google Buzzsumo, the tool will come up. It's an influencer marketing tool, and the whole idea of it is to find those influencers in your industry. So rather than spending hours of time trying to find who these influencers are, all you have to do is use Buzzsumo, type in what your industry is or a topic that you write a lot about, and it will generate a list of the top influencers in those particular industries so that you can reach out to them and start building these relationships. It's a really great tool. I've used it a lot. I've also used it as a content marketing tool to take a look at what content is trending in my industry. It gives me good ideas for blog posts, social media content. In a world where content is king, that's another really big buzzwords or buzz phrase is content is king. I mean, oh my God, that's been going on since I feel like 2010 or 2011 or even 2012. Everybody was using that word or that phrase. Content is king, engagement is queen. I think that content and engagement are equally important. You can't have one without the other. So I like the analogy of king and queen, but they're pretty much on the same level, guys. Like as much as you want engaging as much as your content is important, the engagement part is necessary. And yes, the engagement will follow, but a lot of times, people skip out on the engagement part entirely. I call it post and go. So people sometimes post their content and then just move on with their day. You have to be intentional about taking time to go back and engage with the people who are commenting on your post, retweeting your information. These are people who are engaged and actually like what you're talking about, right? Like these are potential avatars, right? Buzzword over here. And tribes. But, yep, see, that was a troll, guys. He was negative, and so I just block them. Yep, see, Esteban, you got it, right? Troll. And it happens all the time. But yeah, those are potential people in your tribe. So you have to take the time to engage with them. So having great content is fantastic, but after a while, if all you're doing is posting great content, it's not going to be worth it because you're not engaging with these people and making them feel important. Thanking them for taking the time to comment is big in itself. It's these small steps you can take that actually make a huge difference. You have to make your client feel like they're valued. You have to care about them. And so simple things is just thanking them for sharing your content, whether that's retweeting your post or, sharing your post, whatever that looks like. Taking the time to thank them is going to make you stand out from the crowd. That's another buzz phrase. See, I'm coming up with all these buzz phrases because there's so many of them. Another buzz phrase is standing out from the noise. I actually use this one a lot because it's really important. All that means is that noise is just there's a lot going on in social media. There's a lot of content being thrown at you. There's a lot of ads being thrown at you. There's tons of shit on the internet. What are some of your favorite services for creating funnels? I'll talk about that in a little bit, Esteban. Let me finish this point right here. But like I said, you're being thrown with all this stimuli. You have to stand out from that noise, okay? That just means standing out in general. How are you going to stand out from your competition? competition? How are you going to set yourself apart from everybody else so that people are engaging with you? That is huge, and that's another buzz phrase, but another very important one with an important mindset to know that you do have to stand out nowadays, guys. It can't just be posting great content. It can't even just be engaging. I mean, you really have to take it the next level and say, how can I connect with my tribe? How can I make them feel like they're human? How can I build trust with them? A great way of doing that is scoping, right? That's why live video streaming is becoming so popular, because it's another way for you to build trust with these people, because you're showing them what you do. You're showing them that you know what you're talking about, which is extremely important. So going back to your question, Esteban, about what are some good tools for lead funnels, the tool that I use right now, I just actually got it in January, is Lead Pages. Cross-promoting your social media platforms is key. Absolutely. Oh my God, this is huge. I actually talked about that during my hashtag sticky note tip this week, which for those of you who do not know what that is, I do a weekly training series during the afternoons on Periscope. Very educational setting. I like to give you guys quick, easy, and value-packed tools and tips for spending less time on social media. I'm big on the time aspect. If I can save time on social media, I want to be able to do that. And so I talked about that on that. So yeah, cross-promoting is huge. Using call to actions to get people to go to your other social media platforms is really important. But Lead Pages, yeah, that's a really effective tool. It helps you to build those funnels where you can reach out to people depending on where you are at in the sales funnel. So for me, for example, right now, I'm focusing more on the awareness aspect. So I'm using Lead Pages to draw people to my free social media resources. And I'm using a combination of Lead Pages and Facebook ads to really enhance the awareness of my brand. So the one that comes to mind right now is definitely Lead Pages. And I think a lot of people out there can agree with that. It's definitely expensive, I'm not going to lie, but it's worth the investment. There's a lot you can do with Lead Pages. They have great metrics, pretty good ROI that I can see right now. I'm still playing around with it, but so far so good. Okay. ClickFunnels is great. I think I've heard of that one. What is that? Is it like Lead Pages? I have a feeling it is, if it's called ClickFunnels, but clarify that for me, Esteban, while I keep on talking. Although I feel like I've done a lot tonight about all different kinds of buzzwords and buzz phrases. I really hope you guys learned something tonight, and I hope you continue to use these buzzwords where appropriate. And now that you know what they officially mean, you're going to be using them the right way. So I think that's awesome. So yeah, this is a huge topic, buzzwords. A lot of people are using them wrong. That's why I wanted to do this scope tonight, so you guys know how to use them in the right context. Okay. All right, guys, I don't want to take away from your Friday night, although I think we had a really great conversation. Like I said, these hashtag Scope About It's are all about having a fun and honest conversation about the annoying crap that happens on social media. What's great about that is there's a lot to talk about with that, and these hashtag Scope About It's have become really popular. So I'm doing them more and more. Right now I'm doing them about 3 times a week at the night time. So I usually do them around anywhere from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So make sure to tune into those and grab a drink. That's like a requirement if you're gonna participate in a hashtag Scope About It. I want this to be a fun, casual environment where you guys can talk with me while enjoying your favorite evening beverage. So make sure to tune into those. And then I did mention that I do a weekly training series on Periscope. It's a little bit less casual in the sense that it's more of a training environment, but they're really quick tips. That's the whole point of these hashtag sticky note tips, is that I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much information. I want to give you easy, value-packed tools that you can immediately put into place. Hold on, let me pump 500 hearts. You go, Esteban. That's what I like to hear. Show me some love. I appreciate it. Thank you, by the way. But yeah, okay, yeah, good night. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next time, either on one of these or hashtag sticky note tips. I'm about to sign out, guys. Thank you for everyone who participated tonight, and thank you to all the replay viewers as well. One of the things that I like to do is, because a lot of people watch these on replay, a lot of times they can't comment, and so I want to give you guys who are on replay the opportunity to be able to reach out to me on another platform. Right now, I'm big on Snapchat. I've revealed on Periscope many times that I used to be a Snapchat hater. I didn't see the significance of it. I thought it was just for teenagers who wanted to post pictures that they didn't want their parents to see. And then I saw a lot of my mentors using it as a platform to build a loyal tribe. Ding, 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 another buzzword, and using it to drive call to actions to other platforms or, other things they wanted their audience to do, and they've been doing a great job with it. There's a lot older demographic that's exploring Snapchat now, so if you haven't tried out Snapchat, if you were a little hesitant like myself, you didn't see the value of it for business, I definitely recommend trying out Snapchat, guys. It is completely transformed. 500, yes! That's what I like to hear. Thank you, Esteban. You are awesome. Where are you tuning in from, by the way? I like to know where my scopers are tuning in from. And for those of you who are joining in live now, we're just talking about the buzzwords and digital marketing. Oh, you're in the gas lamp. Okay, so you're in San Diego as well. That's awesome. Very cool. There's a lot of new restaurants popping up in the gas lamp that I've been trying and definitely been a fan of. Sarah Mesa. Oh, so we do have a lot of locals. That's really surprising. I'm a fan of that. I'm in Mission Valley, but I actually go kind of all around with my clients, but I'm not originally from around here. I'm actually from Virginia, and I'm definitely in love with San Diego. So thank you to everyone who's tuning in live. But going back to Snapchat then, I love to give my live viewers and my replay viewers an opportunity to be able to ask me questions after the scope. So if you want to head over to Snapchat, I'm about to flip the screen over and show you guys my username. Definitely connect with me on there. Let me know that you came over from the scope. I'll say hi. I love to actually do a Snapchat story just for my new followers. So a lot of times I'll ask you 2 fun random questions, and then I'll actually dedicate an entire Snapchat story about you to my peeps so that those people can follow you as well. So I love to do that for my new followers and just make them feel special and important. Snapchat is a great community as far as I've been exposed to, guys. Really kind, friendly people. I've built a tribe on there way quicker than any of the other social media platforms. It's crazy how easy it is to build a loyal tribe on there. And I love that more demographics are exploring this platform other than just teenagers and young adults. I'm seeing a lot of my influencers who are older than me, so they're in their 40s and 50s, who are using Periscope. BuzzSumo, yeah, Esteban, it's BuzzSumo. Yep, it's exactly how you spell it. Google it. Use that tool. If you're on Snapchat, let me know if you actually used it. It's a lot of fun. Okay, guys, like I said, I am going to head on out. Have a great weekend. I will check out ClickFunnels. Thanks again for that tip. I'm going to head out. I hope everyone has a fun, safe weekend. I hope you tune into another hashtag scope about it. If not, make sure to tune into my hashtag sticky note tips. Have a wonderful night, and I'm going to go ahead and flip that screen over, okay, guys? So let me do that real quick. Ooh. I'm still getting used to my tripod mount, by the way, guys. This is like a game changer for your live video streaming, which I actually just heard from my one of my mentors and influencers, Joel Com. He's big on Snapchat, but he just posted today on Facebook that live video streaming is now just going to be called live video, which I think is way easier because it's less words. Live video streaming is so hard to say multiple times over during a training. So it seems now that as of today, the official language for that, for apps like Facebook Live and Periscope and Blab, are being referred to at this point as live video. That's it. Not live video streaming, not video streaming, not live streaming necessarily. I think they're trying to push just the live video, which I think is fantastic. Okay, so for those of you who are on Snapchat, here is my Snapchat username. Follow me on here. Let me know that you came over from Periscope. If you have any questions about what we talked about tonight, or if you have, if you know of any buzzwords that you want to know what they actually mean, hit me up on Snapchat, okay? I love to talk to you on there. All right, guys, like I said, have a great night, and I will see you later. Have a great weekend, okay, guys? Bye.